Hey, this is a little fireside chat. So, a lot of questions that I get, obviously relating to the market. Is it going to crash? Is this another bubble? Is this 2008, 2009 again? And I thought I should explain what happened in 2008 and 2009 so that people can feel a little bit better and understand the market that we're in right now. So, 2008, 2009 has a lot more to do with lending and mortgages, and I'll give you a little bit of history on that. And it actually goes back pretty far. It goes back all the way to like 2000. It has to do with the dot-com bubble and then continuing into the terrorist attack in 2001. And it goes back to investment bankers and securities. And essentially from 2000 to 2008, we'll say, they are taking really good borrowers, packaging these mortgages into boxes, selling them to security banks, and making money. Well, they come to a point, I'm not for sure exactly what year, let's say 2005, 6, somewhere in there it starts, where they start saying, we're not selling as many as we would like. We're not selling as many mortgages as we would like. So what if we lowered the standards and we sold more mortgages to people that weren't quite ready maybe to buy a house because of their credit? And let's see how that goes. So they drop the mortgage standard, and people that have a few marks on their credit, they are still getting mortgages. And that's going well. But American greed is the thing. So we drop it again, and people that have bad credit that should not be getting mortgages are now getting mortgages. So as these mortgages are getting packaged together and sold off to securities banks, they have to get a rating. And before, when they were really good mortgages, they were getting a AAA rating. Then they started adding in some triple B, and then some, they're subprime, but we'll say C ratings. So usually when you would get this box delivered to a securities place, it would list what's inside of it. They started just classifying them based off of if it had A plus in it. So they would say, hey, these are all plus, send this over. People are taking out stocks on it. It's involving the stock market now at this point, and insurance companies are buying them. They're in mutual funds, so you can tell that these, as we talked about, poor borrower mortgages are now getting into everything. So now we get to 2008, and the people that we thought were going to default, the C pluses, they start defaulting. We have some B pluses defaulting, and then the A's that are sitting in their houses worth what they thought, or when they bought it, $600,000, look around and see houses in their neighborhood selling for $200,000, they start defaulting because they're like, I just want to get out of this. This is terrible. I just bought this house for $600,000 and it sells for $200,000. Peace. I don't want it. So then they started getting rid of their houses. Now you're wondering why this could even happen. Why would banks start doing this? And the theory goes that everyone always thinks real estate is going to go up in value. That's just a common thing. It's always going to go up in value. So if those C pluses defaulted, they weren't really worried because they're just like, we'll sell the house and probably make more money, so it's fine. So in all honesty, you can look at that and say they had a plan. They just didn't see how quickly it would turn around and go bad for them. So with everything being for sale, that means there's more supply. So supply, demand, prices fall. This is where the housing bubble happened. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad in Wichita. I first had my real estate license in 2006. I used to do copyright and take pictures and make listing photos. So it was just different. The supply was high, but we didn't see homes fall significantly like some places that you know of, like California, New York, things like that. And that's a great thing about being in Wichita. So we do, have those same effects. They're just, the ripple is smaller. It's sort of like the rock hits in the pond, and then by the time it makes it to Wichita, it's not as bad. So our market stays pretty steady. So my prediction for the next 6 months to a year, because it's always hard to tell much further than that, because there's so many other factors that are going to come in and they're going to play. So if things stay as they are, I think that we saw about a 10% increase in house prices this year, but we know that demand is still high. We are behind on inventory. We have a building shortage. So do I think prices will drop? No, I don't. I don't think prices will drop, but I think there will be a little bit more supply. So I think instead of this crazy market where people are going $20,000, $10,000 over to get a house, I don't think that's going to continue. I think it will even back out. 2019, I call it the HGTV House Hunters year because I could take people to see 3 to 6 houses and they would pick their favorite. We would put in an offer, a little under market value, ask them to pay closing costs, and we would get it. It was like, what would you like? And now we're just lucky to get a house. So I think that demand is going to stay about the same, but the supply is going to get better. So pretty similar market, but better chance to get a house because there will be less offers. And if you're curious, the whole time that I record, I have that. So that's really good. Thanks for watching.